Hello, thank you for taking a moment to watch this video and welcome back to our HubSpot integration training series. Again, if you're watching this training video, hopefully you have watched all the previous videos. If you haven't, I do recommend that you go back and watch all of the videos start to finish because they all build on each other. And speaking of building on each other, on our last video, we talked about how you can create a workflow in HubSpot that will move a contact into a specific folder in PhoneBurner based off of a change in HubSpot. In this particular case, we did a lifecycle stage change to lead, which would move the contact into our prospecting or calling campaign folder. But what if there's a change in PhoneBurner? Maybe we are calling through the calling campaign and we connect with somebody, and let's say we mark them as interested and move them into the interested folder. We might want to change their lifecycle stage in HubSpot automatically based off of that change. So on this particular training, that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this workflow and we're going to create a new workflow. So click on Create from Scratch. Contact base, blank, next. And our trigger, well, actually, let's rename this here. Let's get it named. All right, so there we go. We got it named, now we're gonna set up the trigger. What is gonna kick this off? Now, I'm gonna go down the path of the folder option. So if the folder ID changes to interested, we want to change the lifecycle stage. But I do want to point out that there's a few different ways that you could do this. You could do it based off of activities, right? Because every time you call a contact using PhoneBurner with the integration, if you've turned on the activity tracking integration, again, that's a previous set of videos, those activities are going to get logged in HubSpot and you can use that to trigger, for example, a lifecycle stage change. But to stick with the kind of the concept that we're already working on, we're going to take advantage of our folders. So we're going to take this interested folder ID. We're going to go back here to contact properties. And remember, we've got that folder ID, that PhoneBurner folder ID property is equal to any of, and I'm going to put in this folder ID. Now, obviously, we can put in multiple folder IDs if we want, but in this particular case, we're going to keep it simple, just do one, and I'm going to apply the filter. So if a contact that's syncing with PhoneBurner, between PhoneBurner and HubSpot, has a PhoneBurner folder ID of 656582476, or sorry, there's no 8 in there, 656522476, what do we want to do? In our particular example, we're going to update the life cycle stage. So we're going to update a property. So set property value. This is going to be life cycle stage. And we can choose obviously anything we want here. This could be a sales qualified lead. It could be an opportunity, however we want to set this. I'm going to go ahead and just mark this as a sales qualified lead. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And let's go ahead and review. Not sure why that failed. I'm not going to worry about doing this for any of them that are already existing that way. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to go ahead and set that to no. Contacts enrolled and that's fine. Re-enrollment. Sure, why not? We can do re-enrollment on this. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't allow re-enrollment on this. And I don't think there's anything else that I need to really worry about on this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. And now we have this workflow that's going to update a record in HubSpot based off of a change that happens due to a call from PhoneBurner. So let's jump over to our contacts in PhoneBurner. Let's jump into our calling campaign, our leads calling campaign, the lead stream. We're going to begin a dial session here. Start dialing. Now to keep things simple here, obviously I'm not going to go through all of the details of a dial session. I'm just going to do this dial session. I'm going to mark this one as interested. They are interested. and then it gives me the option to either call the next contact or the other phone number associated with that contact, which I don't need to do. I'm going to end this dial session. If we go back to the contact manager, we should see our contact in the interested folder. Who was that we just called? George Sample, right? So we just called George Sample just now, marked him as interested, and he is in the interested folder. Now it may take anywhere from 5 to 10 or 15 minutes even for the update from PhoneBurner to sync back over to HubSpot, in which case our workflow should run. Let's go ahead and go back here. We should see that workflow run. Looks like total 1 enrolled, so maybe it's already run. So that was, who was that? That was George Sample. Let's go ahead and find George Sample in HubSpot, see if it actually has run or if we're off there. George Sample, there he is. Let's take a peek. What is his life cycle stage? PhoneBurner dial session status is interested. Sales qualified lead. There we go. So what does this mean? We've got two workflows right now, right? We've got one workflow that's taking any records in HubSpot that gets added to the leads lifecycle, and it moves them into the prospecting folder that we created. In this case, our calling campaign folder. So now our team can churn and burn through that list of data, all of those contacts. Based off of the call outcome, those contacts may get moved into another specific folder. In this case, we've got it set up so if they get moved into the interested folder, they will automatically get updated in HubSpot to have a lifecycle stage of sales qualified lead. So here you can see how the dance between PhoneBurner and HubSpot can really start to evolve when you're using custom field mappings and workflows together to make sure that changes that happen in HubSpot get properly reflected in PhoneBurner, and you're making sure that the right contacts are in the right folders at the right time for you and your team, and changes that happen in PhoneBurner are also updating records on the HubSpot side. So that's it for this specific video. Thanks for watching, and happy dialing.